challenging myself for different throws, different angles, and being okay with practice not being perfect because that's why I'm out there, and knowing that if I work on it in the game, my instincts will take over, and I might be able to accomplish those plays.
There he is. What's up, buddy?
Good.
How you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's good to see you.
Good.
Getting ready to have another exciting day of training today?
Yep, can't wait.
So anyway, thanks for doing this. I just have the 3 topics. I sent them to you yesterday, so we'll make it pretty easy.
Tell Nolan I say hi.
Oh, Brett says hi, by the
Tell
way.
him I miss him and I love him.
And that she misses you and loves you.
Good. Jupiter in January?
Yeah, I think that's the plan. We're gonna see
What?
Okay.
about going to Jupiter in January.
Oh, we are. Tell him I need to see his cute little face.
What's it called? Do you want to do a one-on-one day or two in person?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what you're up to.
Okay.
All right. I have to be careful to talk when you talk because every time I talk, it's like muting you. So let me just ask the question and then wait 1 second. All right. So the first question is, look, as long as I've been knowing you, you've been traveling all around the country in the off season to train. I know that initially it probably started with maybe going to the Tulo stuff, but I was curious kind of what the inspiration behind all of that. I think a lot of people like to know a little bit more about your work ethic and kind of what are some of the cooler things you've done.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been like, I think I just want to see what people are doing. Sure, I'm staying up to date on some new training, I guess, or just adapting to the styles of what's going on. I think, obviously, I learned a lot from Tulo. I've learned a lot from a lot of people. I learned a lot from Goldie. That's probably the most I've learned from just watching him train and, to see how he keeps up with his body at his age and consistent still. So I just think it's important because there's a traditional way of lifting, and that doesn't necessarily make you the best athlete and the best baseball player. There's a proper way to adapt, and as you get older, I just like to see what's going on. So that's just kind of the main reasons why I do it.
Yeah, it's been fascinating to see people coming with different alternate training methods over the past few years. Obviously, the Japanese guys stand out a lot, Yamamoto and different people. And one of the things that I noticed as I aged in my career was, there's certain athleticism traits that start to trend the wrong direction if you don't train them. I've seen that with myself and with other players. So, you start looping in more movement type things and start different types of strategies as you get older because you have no choice.
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure. I think that the thing that I've noticed is like everyone has their different ways, and but as you get older, there's certain your body, like your movements, like just aren't like I can't wake up and just go hit anymore. Like that's just I'm not saying that was the right thing to do, but when you were younger, you're able to get away with it. So nowadays, I have to make sure I properly, activate, make sure I'm ready to go, I'm ready to fire, and when I am, that's when I feel young again. But I try to work through things without having a proper lift or a proper activation. I really feel it.
Yeah, that checklist got so long for me at the end. Like I was getting to the ballpark. It was like an hour before I could go play catch, and I'd just go play catch at, 70, 80%. So I can relate to that for sure. All right. So obviously we all know you're one of the greatest players of all time, but certainly one of the best defenders of all time, especially at third base. I was lucky I had the front row seat to it. I've seen your work ethic, I've seen what you do, but we have a lot of kids that watch the show, and I just want to see if you could give maybe 1 or 2 nuggets on your routine, what your mindset is about taking ground balls, getting better at that, how you stay kind of at the top of your game, and how you've always approached that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I take a lot of pride in it. As many baseball swings as I'm gonna hit, I'm gonna probably do the same amount defensively. That's just kind of how I've always saw it, and I always want to be like. I used to try to trick my mind and thinking that I have to even myself out. So if I'm going to hit as much as I'm going to hit, then I need to go take ground balls as much as I'm going to take ground balls because I can't just be, I can't let my defense slide. It's really important to me. I also love taking ground balls. I generally just love working on it. So like that's also part of it. I love the process of it. I love going on a field and taking ground balls and throwing across a diamond and doing the Derek Jeter play and doing it different angles and all that. So like I generally love that stuff. So it's easy for me to go out there and work. But I think, for me, the main thing is trying different plays constantly, challenging myself for different throws, different angles, and being okay with practice not being perfect because that's why I'm out there, and knowing that if I work on it in the game, my instincts will take over, and I might be able to accomplish those plays.
Yeah, I've seen Dansby Swanson talk about how he thought the best way to train kids was kind of put them in the infield, make them field everything on the run with one hand, and just kind of make it up as you go, throw from every angle, and kind of work on your instincts. I've always noticed you guys, particularly when we were together with the Rockies, doing stuff like that. It's more of a randomized style process because that's what it is in the game. You have to react and feel comfortable in every type of way.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is a great way. I mean, I don't know why kids just don't go out. Like, I see a lot of drills happening on the internet and like different things, and I'm all for drills. Like, I'm not against it, but I really do believe. How about you go on the field, do a bunch of backhands, forehands, spin throws, Derek Jeter plays, and see how many you can accomplish like game speed, and then go from there. Because when you're taking, when you're doing drills on turf and all that, that's not the same bounce you're going to get on a baseball field. So I just think just throwing from different angles, challenging yourself, and being okay, not being perfect, is going to really help you, get better.
Do you draw any inspiration from that from like basketball players and stuff? Because I've seen like Kevin Durant talk about doing everything game speed. I know that you're a big Kobe guy. Like, do you feel like any of that kind of leaked into your mindset?
Yeah, for sure. I think obviously watching them how they would practice, how hard they would practice. You watch like you watch the Michael Jordan documentary. I mean, like he was hard in practice, and in the off season. You watch Tiger Woods, right? Ball farther, actually like letting it fly. Eh, Perfect, but he knew that like he had to find the fine line there. So it's just constantly pushing the limits a little bit. And I think with ground balls, you know, if you're a good fielder, your errors are okay as long as the effort is right. And I think these guys goes and go.
Yeah. No, you're the man. You're the man. Obviously, we all know that. I was curious because this is a little bit off of topic in terms of baseball, but you are the ultimate taco connoisseur when it comes from around the country. You and Big G are the two. You and Stanton, I would say. And you put me onto a spot that I can't even find on the internet. I was trying to look for it yesterday. La Frachada, which we used to go to at like 1, 2 in the morning in San Diego. I can't even find it on the internet. But I put down 5 of my favorite taco spots in America, and I can go over those. But I'm curious if you have any that jump into your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Five would be tough, but for sure. So the pink taco was really good. Pink Tacos was really good in LA, but I think they shut down now.
Mm.
Puesto's, I love Puesto. Pretty, it's not like La Fachada. La Fachada is probably my number one when it comes to it. It's just like you walk in there, you're like, oh man, this is gonna be legit, and it just is. The environment's great. It feels like you're like it doesn't feel like you're in, it feels like Mexico, really. Like, you know what I mean? It's just awesome, and the food is money. The people are. That was probably the best times when we used to go there like late in the mornings and be like, dude, food, I'm over this, and that was the best.
Yeah, right off the plane, like 5 or 6 of us head over there. It was always the best. So my top 5 are Lucido's Tacos in Chicago, which is a good spot I would recommend. My spot in New York is Taco Mix, which is in Harlem. I think I might have sent you there one time, but it's pretty authentic. We don't have. It's definitely, if I had to pick cities, New York's not in the top 5. Like they're mostly out west, but this one's solid. Taco Sinaloa in Oakland, which is a truck that used to come to the field, was
Yeah,
fire.
yeah.
I used to like, I would have a hard time because I would want to eat like 10 of those things, but I have a game to play. And then a sneaky one is this place that in Fort Myers, because I was in spring training with the Red Sox a few times. My spot was Tacos San Julian in Fort Myers, for anybody who's down that area. So I don't know. Nolan's the taco connoisseur. He put me on from the beginning. And, really everywhere we've been going throughout the years, we've been looking for taco spots. I think that's the best way to go. All right, so real quick, I had your defense going here. There's one play I want to ask you about, which I'll find. It's the scariest play I ever witnessed. It's not this one. It's the one in San Francisco down the line on the tarp right here. I mean, were you not scared?
No, I was really scared. I mean, as I was running, I kind of knew the formation of the field, so I always kinda knew that I had a little bit of space as I was going for that ball, but I knew the tarp was coming. Um, and I didn't really think about fear or anything. I kind of just went and thank God I knew the dimensions and I knew I knew home plate was like right there. I knew I wasn't close to the mound. So yeah, I just went for it, man. And that field is crazy because the wind is just nuts. The balls will go, I've seen balls get hit so far foul left and then they come back fair. It's easy to give up on it, but I just realized with that ball, like that ball's going to come back, and it just always does. The ball always comes back toward the field after the ball's hit the left. So
Yeah, you
that's
just
just
you knew you had room, but then that tarp kind of snuck up on you, no?
yeah,
My
yeah, for sure.
God.
And it hit me hard. I'm just glad it kind of like swept me pretty good under. I didn't like get caught under because I would have messed up my knee pretty bad. But I
Yeah.
was a little banged up after that. I hurt a little bit for sure.
I think I was just about to go warm up. Like I was like standing at the top of the stairs with my glove, and Rafi was pitching there, and I just remember like everybody in the dugout like freezing for a second, like is he okay? And then you pop up and you throw a third, like trying to get a double play, which is insane. So that was awesome. All right, let's watch. Do you want to watch me face you real quick as we finish this off?
Let's do it.
All right, so we'll start with the first one. I got you out the first few times, and then it kind of backfires. So
Only one time.
yeah, but it was a big one. It was a game winner. So here's the very first time. I have to say, it's very hard to face people that you're close with. Very very hard for me to like go up there against you and not be thinking about what you're thinking about or anything, and I have to try to clear my mind. Not easy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like facing people. I think that's what it comes down to. You not like I got we played together for so long. We've hung out so many times. You're one of my closest friends in the game. So to face you, like 'cause I know Brett's your family's in the stands, my family's in the stands. Like I think we went to go eat dinner after this game too, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's so weird. It's so strange how that can play out.
Yeah, and I don't like it. I never liked facing you. One because it was hard to pick you up. You knew you threw really cross body, really tougher hitters. Oh, I wish that would have. But you know, I like I said, it just when you face people you like really like, it's just not great because I don't like that feeling. I like to go up there, clear mindset, and I don't just try to get you're trying to get me out. So
All right, so let's watch the last two that I was thinking of in my mind. This one, I came in a big spot and I actually struck you out here. And then the very next day, you clipped me for a home run. So let's just watch these two back to back. This first one, I remember, with you guys that knew me a little bit, I would try to go off the script a little bit there, like first pitch cutter, like try not to get ambushed. Ultimately, I'm going to get into slider sinker, but trying to steal a strike, wasn't able to do it there. And if I recall, I actually threw some decent changeups in this 2 day span, which kind of makes no sense. But again, I was just trying to stay off the beaten path. I was like, he knows my game. Let's not give him what he thinks is coming. Like, let's see what this is. This is a changeup right here coming.
yeah, I mean, when I'm hitting right there, I'm like, since when does he do this? Since when does he go job on that second?
Yeah.
Literally,
Dude, I just was like, I just have to stay unpredictable. You know what I mean? And then I was able to come up top with a four seam here, I believe. Right. So get you that at bat. Next at bat, I see you and Goldie over there thinking about what your approach is gonna be off of me. And I don't know why I like completely went away from my game, but I was like, man, I'm just gonna like trust my sinker here a little bit against Nolan, and I end up getting clipped for the game winning home run. So this is this at bat. First pitch change up. So I started off smart, and then I started to lose it here a little bit.
I think the only reason why I was able to hit this ball finally off you is because you threw you went I think you went change up, slider, change up.
Change up, slider, cutter.
I was like, in my mind I was like, he has to throw the sinker at some point. It has to come. He has to. He can't like. And then the fact that it was 2-1, I was like, he has to establish some sort of fastball at some point. You know,
Yeah, I see you thinking here. I see you thinking right now. You're like, maybe he'll come with the sinker this next pitch.
I think with your sweepy slider, I was like, I think I probably told myself if he throws a good one, you're not gonna hit it anyways, so you might as well just stay on the sinker. And that's
Yeah.
just kind of
Yeah, I gave it to you right down the middle.
I love that I hit that out. I hate that it was against you. That was the only time I've ever hated. I never liked the home
Well,
touches.
I could tell because you sprinted around the bases. You wanted that moment to be over pretty quickly.
Yeah, I always kind of move kind of fast. But yeah, that one for sure. I did not was like I'm not gonna, like I can't show up my boy.
Yeah, look at my reaction right here. I'm like, damn it, what am I doing? It's just funny because I felt pretty nasty the day before. I was like, man, like I'm pretty nasty. Like I think I struck you and Goldie out. I'm like, I'm feeling myself. And that's baseball though. You come back the next day and you lose it the same way the next day. So
I think what I learned after that bat is like obviously you went change up slider. It was a nasty slider. It'd be okay looking ugly, but you just cannot miss the heater because that's my. I felt like in so sleepy that that was my only chance to hit you was the fastball. So and I just out front because if you watch the side video, you should see I kicked that ball really out front.
I actually have that. Hold on. We have one more second. I can grab it off the dugout app. This was what's the date of this game? This was the 18th in 2023. I can get you here real quick. Hold on.
Out front because I knew or I had to be ready for it.
Yeah, so you were on time. You were on time basically. All right, one sec. All right, this was 2020. What did I say? 2023. Yeah, I think it was the 18th. Let's see. Pretty dope that I have this app, though. I can go back and look. This is not the game. Hold on. Let me just check this. It's 6/18, 2023. That's weird. All right, it's Mets, Cardinals. Yeah, here it is. All right, here we go. Here's the side view on it.
Down front.
Yeah, you caught it right there.
Catching that thing, I was like, getting beat.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. And I love watching your swing because of the way you're always so head down, like on the bat. Is that something you were taught from a young age? Is that something that was like one of the first things you were taught, like see the ball off the bat?
Yeah, I think for me, yeah, and like in high school, we weren't even allowed to really pull our head up. Everything would had to be hit like to right center, second base. You weren't peak. So it was like a kind of like a drill we would do BP, like you're not allowed to peek and see the ball. So we would swing and make sure we would keep our head there. And it got to a point in pro ball too where we would do that. And you had to be able to say where it went without even looking. So it was just kind of a good drill, and I just kind of overemphasized it a little bit. Obviously, I overdo it, kind of where it came from.
So in a way, it sort of keeps you from pulling out too early because if you have to track it all the way in, then your chest stays over the plate.
Exactly. You don't want to take your head to the ball, but you do want to keep your head on the ball the whole time, for sure.
All right, that's dope. All right, that's it, bro. That's all I got for you. That's it. Nothing else.
All right, well, hey, I'll see you in Jupiter whenever.
All right, thanks for stopping through. I appreciate it, man. All right, later.
Later, bro.
All right, that was Nolan. Obviously, we had a little bit of an issue there, audio wise, but we had a good time either way. Talked a little bit about his philosophy on defense, philosophy on training, philosophy on head down on the ball. So those are all good topics for kids at home. Hopefully some of that came through a little bit on the audio because on my side it was definitely a little sketched out. But either way, it was cool that he came through. One of the best players of all time. Clearly, I'm a little biased. I think he's the best defender of all time at third base. I am extremely biased when it comes to Nolan because I've seen his whole entire career in front of my eyes. So I remember when he showed up in spring training the first year. So that must have been 2013. And I remember just thinking to myself, oh shit, after about a week, this is our best player, and he's not even going to make the opening day roster. I remember I pissed him off because we went to lunch. Me, him, and some other younger guys went to lunch. I took some of the younger guys out to lunch, and I remember he was asking me what I thought his chances of making the club was, and I remember I told him 0. And I didn't realize that I was being a dick at that time. But then later when we got close, he was like, man, you really like rocked my world when you told me I had 0 chance to make the team. but it was mainly because I knew that we were gonna service time manipulate him a little bit. Like that was just the reality of it. And Chris Nelson was gonna play third until Nolan was past a certain date where they could keep him for the additional year of control. So that's what ended up happening. He came up like May that year, and the rest is history. We got to watch just the best defender I've ever seen, and pretty damn good hitter. A lot of 40 home run years, a lot of 130 plus RBI years with the Rockies. So he's looking to have a big bounce back this year, but it's one of my buddies. He never comes on anything, so it's cool for him to come on and give us a little bit of information. All right, let's get in the chat here for a second as we wrap today up. So I know that his brother, this is a question that was for Nolan from Victoria. I can actually answer this. Jonah is working with the agency Wasserman now. Used to actually faced Jonah, which is hilarious. I faced Jonah Arenado in high A when I was rehabbing my Tommy John. And I remember he texted his brother that he had faced me because we had been friends or whatever. And I actually walked him. And I remember he was saying that his brother was weak for not trying to swing against me and just trying to draw a walk. So great family. Josh Fuentes as well, big leaguer, is Nolan's cousin. So that whole crew, big time ball players. They also grew up with Trace and Clay Thompson. So I don't know, pretty cool. And do we think bulked baseball players lose their flexibility? It's not so much flexibility, it's like mobility, like usable flexibility. Like you have to be able to get into deep positions. That starts to lessen over time. And then also it's like speed. It's like impulse, like how quickly you can react to something and fire. Those things tend to decline as you get older. And I think that's a little bit of what Nolan's dealing with, as well as a lot of us over the year. So anyway. I didn't bully him. He knows where I'm coming from. We'll definitely do something in person. I just don't know what we're going to do. I mean, maybe we'll come up with a longer show. He has so many good nuggets of information in there. But today he's has to go train. One thing about Nolan is you cannot mess with his training. We went on vacation one time and he was doing dry swings the entire day. So you can't mess with his training. I have to be respectful of that. He's about to go and do his thing. And that's pretty much how it is. What else we got? This is also an interesting thing. El Toro High School, California. Matt Chapman played a little shortstop. Nolan played a little third, and then later they both became two of the greatest third basemen in defensive history, which is phenomenal. So, yeah. I don't know about a golf stream. We can maybe make a video together golfing. He's a great golfer. Of course, he's good at everything. So I have a long way to go until I could even golf with him and feel confident, but that would be pretty cool. All right. Anyway, that was cool. On to the next. Next show we'll do on Wednesday, we'll probably do another division, probably NL West or AL Central. Needs. We'll go, look at some other things. Hopefully there'll be some more moves to break down, some other stuff going on. But overall, that's kind of the show for the day. Let's see if I missed anything. No, we talked about all of those teams, free agent tracker, Fernando Cruz. We talked about winter ball. All right, maybe there's one more thing in the chat, and then I can see it later. Active players in total zone runs at third base. Arenado 106, almost lapping the field. Chapman 65, Machado 61. So pretty incredible stuff. I don't know. He's a vacuum. You go watch his YouTube highlights. They can go on for 45 minutes of just stupid plays that literally could have only been one out. Sometimes he gets 2 outs on these stupid plays. So I don't know. He's amazing. He's incredible. He's still working so hard to bounce back. I know that mostly it's a physical thing at this point. So hopefully he can get his body where he wants it. And then I think some team will benefit from a buy low on Nolan this offseason. And we'll see which team that's going to be. But some team's going to have to take the leap of faith with him, of course. That's the whole other thing. They thought Nolan was originally, if you look at it, I think he was drafted as a catcher. Jerry Weinstein, who actually is a catching coach, was somebody who coached Nolan in high A and was one of the big reasons why he became such a good defender, really putting that those practice things that those practice constraints that he puts in on himself into place. And just, I love the fact that he talked about he wanted to be balanced out. Like he felt like for as many swings as he takes, he should be taking ground balls. I promise you, most baseball players are not that way. They're going to do whatever they have more fun doing, which is probably hitting, and they're going to ignore their defensive a lot. But take it from a guy who's, made hundreds of millions of dollars and going to probably go to the Hall of Fame, mostly on the strength of his defense, that it's pretty cool to do both. You should definitely balance yourself out if you can. I love that. I love that approach out of him. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Yarborough's back with the Yankees. I would be so paranoid at my golf swing, mess up my baseball swing. I think a lot of hitters are that way. Some aren't, though. Some aren't. McNeil never seemed to worry about it. A lot of other guys, but I heard Chapman say Nolan pitched once randomly in a high school game and threw a 3-hit shutout. Also wouldn't surprise me. He's just a great athlete. You do anything with Nolan, he's just good at it right away. He's just one of those guys. It's funny because he's not fast, but he's just coordinated in every kind of way. So interesting guy to watch. And pitching doesn't surprise me. He's got a good arm. I was looking at his hardest throws. They have in the research tool here are interesting. Actually, I think I have it on his page. Hold on. Yeah. It's funny because his hardest throw is only not as hard as I would have thought. Yeah, 90.4 right here. Seems like Jorge De La Rosa was pitching a lot of these highlights. But this is his hardest throw. I mean, it's a pretty good arm. That's 91 across the diamond. So you can see if he's pitching, he could probably throw in the 90s. This is another 90-mile-an-hour throw. I'm curious to see. And now I'm just kind of waiting. Oh, look at Buck. You see Buck on the... Oh, John Gray. Oh, Nolan in the shift. Oh, he realized a little late that he had to throw that ball. Look at Buck look at Buck right here. This is such a typical Buck in Baltimore right here. Anyway, this was the old shift where Nolan's literally playing shortstop here, which is insane because he's a third baseman. And we don't see this anymore. But anyway, there's the arm. All right, back to the solo shot. What did I do in 2022? Actually talked about this the other day with Eric Hosmer because Hosmer was on the Padres when Nolan charged the mound against Perdomo, which I guess I could pull up real quick on YouTube. So freaking funny. Nothing really happened. Nobody really connected with any of these punches. But you want to talk about just one of the funnier events that I've ever seen. This one right here. Myself and Wade Davis were inside, so we had to run down the stairs and come out in our shorts and stuff. And I held back a whole bunch of people. Nobody ever connected. But this was so funny. And this is, I think, before John Boy. So, I don't know. There's a lot of anger in this. Our two teams did not like each other very much at the time. I think this might have been one of the times I told Craig Stanman to shut the fuck up. Current manager of Padres. So this was an interesting time. It got a little wild. I think actually Marquez did some dumb shit at the end where he snapped a towel over the top and hit somebody with the towel. I think, yeah, there it is. He snaps him with the towel and then they get pissed at Marquez and he comes running out of there. Wonder if I can find myself because this is the second pile. Let's see if I can find myself here. Pause. I had somebody wrapped up at one point. I'm in the scrum there. I don't know where. Where am I? I don't know. I'm in there somewhere holding people back, doing my job. That's about it. Anyway, that was always funny. Oh, she meant against the Mets when Lopez threw at him. Oh, that was crazy too. That was a whole wild thing. Honestly, I don't think Nolan deserved that, if I recall correctly. Yohan Lopez went in and went right at Nolan with something, and he got pissed. Wow, what year was that? That was 2022? Yeah, that was crazy. Let me find that. Cardinals, Mets. Let me find that. I'll put it up on here in a sec. Dude, Nolan's had a lot of things. Then later that year, he was hearing it pretty good from the bench, I want to say. Here, it's probably this one. Yeah, Yohan Lopez. What? Maybe he had already pitched in this series. Let me find it again. Lopez, Diaz, May, Diaz. There's a John Boy breakout of this one. I could have swore it was this day game. Did Nolan play in this game? It's weird because it's 3 for 3 with a walk.
By Dickerson, infield hit, then the triple.
Sean Reed Foley here. I don't know where it is. Lopez got ejected, so that's why I think it's hard to find. Molina, Sosa, Edman, Goldschmidt. I don't know. Can't find it, but it definitely happened. It exists out there in the internet. I just remember it was one of those things where we actually felt bad for Yohan Lopez because he went in there. He was like just called up. He goes and hits somebody, gets like a 3-game suspension. And now I'm like, this 3-game suspension is really holding Yohan Lopez back from getting called up again. Like, you can't call somebody up who's suspended. So he was kind of screwed. And I felt bad for him because he tried to be a warrior, do whatever the team wanted. I do think it was on purpose. But I don't remember what Nolan did so bad. I think were we mad about the incident with Pete on the side with Stubby Clapp? I think that's what we were talking about. I think we were mad about something with Pete. He got in a little wrestling match with the first baseman, right? Over some first base coach over something. Or maybe that was in the battle. I don't remember. But John Boy's got it. So we'll go. Google says April 27th. But would that be 23? Man, I guess I'll do one more look at it. All right, let's just try this again. Mets Cardinals 2022 April 27th. Yeah, this is the same game. It happens in this game. I just don't know, like, does Nolan get taken out mid at bat or something? Like, I don't get it. I don't see him up here at all. Well, it's not that. It's not Brendan Donovan. Sosa. Edman. I don't think it would be Goldie. He wouldn't have been in the game. Here it is.
Facing Nolan Arenado, who's been on base 4 times. First pitch up and in.
First pitch up and in. Nolan already mad about it. Nodding. Oh man, this was so good.
Who's been on base 4 times. First pitch up and in.
And then is there another pitch here? Oh yeah, he's already out of the game. They both got ejected already after this.
Who's been on base 4 times.
So we don't get the extended version. Obviously, John Boy's in on it, but you can see Nolan's not happy. One thing that Nolan used to get pissed about when we were together was when he had to be the one to take the beating for something dumb that somebody else did. Because that happened a lot in Colorado. Like, when you're the best player, a lot of times, like, you accidentally hit a Goldschmidt and they're mad at you, they're coming after Nolan. So, yeah. Anyway, that was good. He's had a couple beefy moments over the years. He's a fiery player. He is. You can't let that leak up. I think that maybe they were trying to hit him, but yeah, got to be in the bud if you're going to try to hit him. If I recall correctly, we were mad about something. And we were just pissed. Definitely 2022, we were mad at the beginning of the year. Guys were getting hit left and right like crazy. So that was probably a little bit of that. But anyway, it's pretty cool.